Liz Cheney is on with Larry King. She's not defending Von Braun, but wait a minute. He's not quite as bad as other killers. That's for damn sure. I mean, he is, after all, white, and he is a right-winger like my ideology, so he can't be that bad. You don't believe me? Let's watch. Here's Liz Cheney on Larry King.
The suspect, an 88-year-old white supremacist. Liz, what do you say?
Well, I think it was obviously a horrific event, Larry, and I think that, as I understand it, they have apprehended the man who was guilty. We know who he was. I do think people need to be a little bit careful about using words like terrorism before we know exactly. You know, clearly he was psychotic, but we don't really know much yet about whether or not he was representing any sort of an organization. And I do think we need to be a little bit careful, but obviously it was a horrific event. No, I mean, I think that we really, it's very important to be careful here. I mean, I think, you know, in every society, certainly in our society, at every moment in history, we have had people, criminals, as James puts it, people who are you know, crazy, psychotic. Clearly, this man was a white supremacist, if you look at his writings, an anti-Semite, you know, a really vile human being. Every society has those, but I really think it's a stretch too far to sort of say that that somehow can be connected to our political discourse.
Gee, I wonder why you don't want to connect it to your political discourse, right? And, of course, no one's a terrorist unless they're Muslim, okay? I mean, if you're a guy from in the middle of the country and he's white, you're going to call... It's a little too far to call him a terrorist because he shoots people based on their race. Now, imagine for a second if Von Braun was al-Muhammad, and he was a Muslim guy and went into the Holocaust Museum and tried to kill the Jews. Now, let's play a little guessing game. Do you think Liz Cheney would have called him a terrorist? Say it with me. Of course she would have called him a terrorist. If he was a Muslim radical, would he have been a terrorist? Of course he would have been a terrorist. But since he's a right-wing radical, whoa, 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 back up, back up. Let's not go that far, right? Please. I didn't think they could go this far as, you know, doing a partial defense of Von Braun. But there they have it. And by the way, one quick thing. You know why they, another reason for this? It's because if they are a terrorist, then Liz knows that they have to apply Cheney standards for terrorists, which is you go waterboard them, you go torture them, and that's what you do to terrorist suspects. They don't even have to be convicted, as long as they're a terrorist suspect, because that's what she's argued for and her dad has argued for on TV and in the government. So she's like, no, 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 don't call him a terrorist, because then we'll have to torture him. And he's just a poor right-wing radical. He's not a terrorist.